The honors of just pushing the record button. Is that
clicking it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hesitate sometimes on go now, go now,
I
go now, click
I
go
know
now.
it's either we have to wait for the perfect moment to start the show, or we just start. We just push record and just go from there. So I never
Don't get
know.
it.
I never.
Here we are, brother, in the beautiful month of August, right?
Yeah, it's
In the year of Lord 2026, right? So yeah,
in the
plugging along.
2026th year of our Lord. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you're wearing the appropriate hat. I dig it. It's a
yeah,
good
I
one.
am. I'm all.
Where'd you get
I
that?
got it online. Got the shirt as well.
Hey,
If
yeah.
anybody, I mean,
I know I have
you
that
know where
sign
it's from,
outside in my office, yeah, but only it says play, not pray. So yeah,
right? Right, but you know where it's from
I do.
originally. Yeah,
Notre Dame.
From Notre Dame, right?
Yeah,
The football team, not the cathedral
the
in
cathedral.
Paris.
I don't think all the
No.
monks and priests and everybody are slapping the top of the door jamb as they're running into the congregation
No.
to give their sermons. But
No, but the thought alone kind of makes me laugh, or at least
yeah,
giggle, right? No,
sure.
dude, it's August, man. Like, where did the summer go?
Yeah, well, I did hear that they're trying to change the daylight savings time to the winter schedule, which means that in the wintertime, our sunrise would be at like 9 o'clock in the morning, which would be a little strange. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think that everyone talks about this garbage,
Yeah.
but nothing really goes down. So I'll just get up when I'm supposed to and go to bed when I should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want to get into a whole conversation about daylight savings because
Other
I've
podcasts do
done
that.
that. I've done that in podcast past.
Mhm.
But I am curious because I can't remember because it's been such a long time since I've talked about it. But where do you stand on all of that? Do you
I like where
want
we're at right
the
now. I think it'd be cool if it would just stay the way it is right now. Like, I don't want to do the
do you have a
fallback
hard
or
time
whatever.
adjusting? Do you have a hard time adjusting at all with the
I
time
don't.
changes?
It just I hate freaking having to change everything, man. I still got some analog clocks that still require like physically pushing buttons, and I forget how to do it. So I'd rather just not have to do that twice a year. Just for my own simple pleasure of not having
Yeah.
to read the manuals to do these things.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I usually get used to it about after a week. But I will say the spring change is harder on me than the fall change. Like,
Yeah,
I love the
yeah.
fall change because I gain that hour and it's usually like the best sleep of my life. Like, I'm in bed by 9. But then again, I'm turning 45 this month and, I'm usually ready to go to bed by 9. So
See, yeah, man.
I don't know.
I,
I'm
w-
conflicted, but
I wish I could do that. I can't do that, but you know,
well, I take a
nonetheless.
concoction of melatonin. Oh, what is it? Magnesium and
Hmm.
L-theanine or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I've told you about those things, and I take all that stuff
Hmm.
too. But all it does to me is just make me ponder a little longer. I've got to be physically tired to sleep. My ADHD brain doesn't like any kind of chemicals telling it to shut up. So I've got to
Is it
work out, do things. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and for me, I actually had a conversation with somebody about this because they have ADHD, very much, very, very ADHD. And as a kid, I mean, it was to that point of like, they'd forget like 5 minutes later, right?
Oh yeah.
About what they were doing. But he was telling me that like he's just able to shut off his brain and like he can just go right to sleep. Like when he's ready, he can just tell himself to go to bed and then he's like sacked out, right? For me,
Makes no sense.
I'm somewhere in between because sometimes it will take me forever to fall asleep. But I've learned through just tricks of like meditation and things like that have helped. So like when I'm going to bed, like I need no distractions, mainly like meaning, and honey, I love you, but like no cuddle time. Like she wants to cuddle at night. I like have to plan the cuddling because if I'm trying to go to sleep and if I'm in bed, I don't want to cuddle. I don't want to be touched. I just need focus on just what helps me go to bed, which is usually I don't know what you even call it. A number of years ago, I was hypnotized, and the hypnotist had told me that when I need to find relaxation and everything to focus on an inner core color. So my
Oh, yeah, you
inner
talked
core
about it
color,
before.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I talked
Yeah.
about it. So yeah, my inner
Mhm.
core color is like orange, kind of like a almost a vibrating kind of a vibrating yellow orange, kind of like my shirt.
Whatever moves your needle, man. Yeah, it doesn't
And
work with
so that's
me.
what that's what I'm usually thinking of. I think of everything that is that orange. And so I don't know, it's just
I'll tell you what works for me is scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, and I find out some pretty interesting things, like that dogs are actually better surfers than most adults are. Did you know that? I found this out last night on TikTok that dozens of
really.
dogs took place in the 10th annual World Dog Surfing Contest. And actually, believe it or not, they were comparing dogs to humans, and dogs are far more superior. I think it's because they have four legs on
Mhm.
there instead of two, but go figure. But then as you're scrolling to find out more of that, then I find out that there was a book that someone checked out 150 years ago that actually got returned in Australia, which is kind of funny, right? Like they found this book in a house they were remodeling, and they took it back to the library and decided not to you know charge the people that brought it in who bought the house the return fee, which is interesting.
I
So
wonder how much that would be.
yeah, I think that dude, how much is a typical library fee? I don't even know. Does anyone even check out books from libraries anymore? Is that like a with the
I
internet?
Google.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I
I
don't even know.
Google. I
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna be deep diving about tomorrow.
There was a website that I used quite significantly during my master's degree called the Z Library, where you could download any and every book known to man. And it was all just free. And I thought, this has got to be illegal. And then one day I logged on there and it said the FBI had taken over the website. So I thought, okay, I guess this is illegal. But that was a good run for many years, being able to check out books there and not have to buy them.
Mhm.
But the FBI put a kibosh on that. I also found out that police in France have been warning people about deer acting erratically due to the fires that are out there. And they're finding out that most people haven't really dealt with a lot of this stuff. So a lot of their wildfires and stuff, like, I don't know if it's just new out there, but like we have them all the time. But apparently, wildlife are running all over the place and they're causing tons of accidents. They're having more accidents because of this. So I learned that. But I also learned something super scary that all you runners should be very aware of. And that is China held the first robot half marathon with humans, and the robots beat the humans. Like, have you seen these man like type looking robots that they have now?
Yeah,
They
they
did a
look
race.
really creepy.
They did a half marathon in 58 minutes.
They kinda look
What?
58 minutes?
Yes, the one that won was 58 minutes. The robot that won. Can you believe that? That's freaking
Actually, yeah, I
fast,
probably
Josh.
could. No, that is that I mean, that's
I
like
can't
my
run from a
pay that
robot.
I know, I was gonna say, like, that's my PR, like, that's faster than my PR for a 10K.
10K. Yeah. That
Yeah.
means not only can we not, I mean, we'll always be seen by drones now, but now when we try to
Mhm.
run, freaking T3 is just going to chase us down. The Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Like
Now
the future is
okay.
now. We're screwed. Like,
Okay, no, now that you put that into that
I
context,
can't run away, man. Yeah.
I'm scared. Like,
Dude. Yeah.
there's no getting away from the robots, from the
Nope.
insurrection,
Absolutely, man. Like we have to just
dude.
kind of accept it, I guess now. But dude, I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny too. These robots that are running, their bottom legs are just cruising, but their upper body's not moving. It looks very disturbing, but also
Yeah,
I'm kind of impressed. You
I
know?
feel like if you are programming these robots, that you absolutely need to, like, move their arms.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just to, like, ease
Some
our
of them had,
worries.
some of them had that motion, but some of them didn't. It was very creepy.
So they're so they're running like Phoebe?
Yeah, they're kind of running like Fred Flintstone, like all the
Aw.
Flintstones, how they like put their arms down to the side with that little
Uh-huh.
curl. Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
trust anybody who runs like that.
Hmm.
No. See, I do get sucked into reels occasionally. I've really, especially the past year, I've had to, like, be very careful because I've known to get stuck into a hyper reel for, like, 2 hours. And so
Yeah,
if I'm
man.
not careful, like, almost have to, like, tell myself that I can't. Like, I have to allow myself when I know that I have the time because there's always something better for me to do. But the
Well,
one
I did a
thing,
deep dive on a raccoon named Jimothy. Have you seen Jimothy the
no,
raccoon?
I did, Jimothy, and that's what I should be bringing up for our visuals for today's show because
The show and
I
tell.
want, I want a Jimothy. Like,
Jimothy, for those that don't know, is a very strange looking Seattle raccoon that's kind of taken the online world by storm.
I
And
mean, if you don't
I'm
know who
not
Jimothy
sure.
is,
Yeah.
I think Jimothy is an alien.
Do you think that we should trust a raccoon named Jimothy in the first place more than, like, say, a able-bodied raccoon?
I mean,
Jimothy is all neck.
he is all
Jimothy
neck.
looks like a guy that was on My 90-Day Fiance named Big Ed.
I know who you're talking about.
There,
I know
there's
who you're talking about.
there's Jimothy. Look at that
Yep.
guy.
This is Jimothy. I'm sure that there's some type of medical like term and explanation for his
There,
no
there
neck.
better be, because
Yeah.
that's. Mm-hmm.
He really has become this celebrity that quite honestly, I mean, we need more Jimothy. Like, and just the name alone,
Jimothy.
I don't know. I honestly reminds me of my pet. Well, I never had a Jimothy, but I did have a pet raccoon when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Rascal. We had him for probably about 2 months. Let me tell you, raccoons,
Mm-hmm.
they're jerks.
Dude.
Like, yeah,
Why? What
Rascal.
makes them jerks? I mean, they look like bank
Well,
robbers, but like,
okay, granted, he was a feral raccoon. He was a baby when we got him because his mom got hit by a car.
Mm-hmm.
And we fed him milk and bananas. I remember that. Dog food,
Yeah. Can't imagine what
trash,
that smell like. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a very distinct smell of raccoon, banana, and milk that is like seared into my senses.
Ooh.
But we ended up not being able to keep him, but he was too tame to like just set free. So we offered him to the Hogle Zoo here in Salt Lake. They wouldn't take him because he was domesticated and their raccoon cage was pretty much full of raccoons. I don't even know if you
Uh-huh.
remember the raccoon cage at the Hogle Zoo, but it was a pit basically.
Oh my
And they
gosh.
just had, I want to say like 5 or 6 raccoons just in there. So we're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So we were trying to find somewhere that would take Rascal, and we called Lagoon. Yeah, and Lagoon, who at the time had their Sarah McLachlan Memorial Animal Kingdom train,
Oh my gosh.
the
Horrific.
the Zufari of sadness, whatever you want to call it.
Man, that was
But
bad.
they agreed to take Rascal. Their raccoon cage
Mm.
was even sadder than the Hogle Zoos.
You
Like
had
it
to
was.
leave Rascal there? Like, that's.
Mhm.
You should have took him out and drowned him under the freaking tidal wave, man. Like, put him in a pit.
I mean, basically, it's the kind of the same thing. Let's be
So the
honest.
carp eat him in that big lagoon bay. Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
poor
No,
Rascal.
the cage essentially
Where
was like a
where are you
chain link
going,
fence.
Josh? Don't
Was
leave
it?
me here.
No, seriously.
Oh
Like
my
it was a
gosh.
chain link. It was a half dome chain link fence
It's so sad.
with a little shack, and they had probably 5 or 6 raccoons in there, and yeah, it was sad, but we didn't have any other options. I mean, it was like 1991, 92, somewhere
My
around there.
gosh, dude.
I actually have a video of us going to Lagoon to give him to the park, but
Dude,
I'd have to find it.
that's sad. That please
It is
don't.
pretty
Like,
sad.
yeah.
And what's even more sad is that the raccoons just kind of disappeared about 2 years after. Like they didn't have any more.
I'm hoping that because Rascal was more domesticated, he figured a way to pick the locks and had the great escape, and that's why they lost them all. I'm hoping
I'm
that's the
gonna go
story.
with that narrative, and not that we
Yeah,
like introduce some type of like raccoon virus that
yeah.
wiped
Let's
them
not do
out.
that plot
Mm-mm.
line. No,
No, I
let's
like
stay
that
with
one better.
mine. Yeah, he's
Could
like,
be actually a
hey
pretty
fellas, I
good
got these
Disney movie,
keys. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah. We don't want that one.
No, but yeah, Jimothy, man, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's become quite a celebrity. Hmm.
This Jimothy man.
He's just all body, no neck, just body
Yeah,
and
no
legs.
neck. I've actually seen dogs that are kind of this. There must be some medical thing.
Well,
Did this
yeah,
send
that's
me
not normal.
on
Yeah.
a deep dive? Did I look for cats that had no necks? Absolutely.
Dude, nice, man.
Because I would need a Jimothy the cat, you know,
Mm.
but I'm sure Marianne would say no. Anyway, but no, like so all these reels, right? Kind of going back to what we were
Mhm.
talking about. For me, like I have to like stay away from because I will get sucked into it for a couple hours. Because my favorite kind of reel, I love the hut makers, the ones who make the
Right.
huts and then fill in the moats with water. But then I've kind of gotten into my algorithm a lot of like islanders, Filipinos,
Mhm.
Pacific Islanders, or whatever, cooking like random fish, eels, crabs,
See?
where they just put them
Yeah.
in the big, huge, giant vats and then, fry it. And it takes forever for them to get to the point of them eating it. And it looks disgusting. And it doesn't look like they enjoy eating them, but I can't stop watching.
See, I
That's
told
the
you that. That's like the
problem.
people that make those beverages I showed you a couple months ago where they, like, have the most awful dirty hands and they're, like, putting
Yeah.
hands on their ice and stuff. Yeah. I don't know, man. Would you I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I could eat that food, but I've seen some of what you're talking about. But see, my algorithm changes so much. Like I've watched this guy try to smuggle exotic animals through airports get caught. I've seen a cat that they've kind of made a rail station manager in Japan, which was kind of a funny thing. Like the cat kind of like, I don't know if it counts people or just kind of like manages it while everyone's gone. I don't know. But like apparently everyone answers to this cat. I'm thinking, what in the world? There's a big rubber duck that starts popping up all over the world. I'm praying that we get to see him in like the Great Salt Lake one day, if there's still a Great Salt Lake to be had. There's mine's so freaking random that I can't land on anything. So yeah,
Well, dude, you're welcome to jump onto my algorithm, and
write it
I
for
don't
all it's
know.
worth.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I've found though that like Facebook and Instagram, their algorithms are a little bit harder to like change within a week because it's like
Yeah,
it takes forever, right? So if I want to
yeah.
change my algorithm there, I have to be very deliberate
Hmm.
in what I'm watching and seeking out. But when it comes to like YouTube, when it comes to the shorts, it can change literally just overnight, right? Like I can
Ah,
just start watching, this or that. And which right now,
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of mine have been police cams
Yeah,
and like not lawsuits, but like
auditors.
legal, yeah, like auditors and stuff like that. I don't know how I got
Yeah,
sucked into that, but it's kind of lethargic.
I've been watching a lot of people that are buying boats and redoing boats for some reason, and I think that's pretty cool. But back to these robots for a minute, because I also saw that Japan's training dog, like wolf looking robots to chase away bears and it's working. I'm thinking that's kind of impressive. Like, and it got me thinking, Josh, if you could have a robot butler, would you take a robot butler? Because I get in fights with my Alexa right now. Something's
Hmm.
happened to my Alexa where it's starting to talk back to me and I'm not liking it at all. Like in fact, the other
Really?
day I told it was I got into an argument with this stupid puck, Alexa, and I threatened her. I said, "You keep going and I'm going to unplug you." And she had the freaking audacity to say to me, "Go ahead, I'm wireless." And I did. I yanked that right out. I'm like, I hope you feel this. And Marissa comes in. She's like, Alexa, turn on my light. And it wouldn't turn on. I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, she's on timeout. It mocked me, Josh. She said literally, go ahead. I'm wireless. Really? Aria, what happened? Where's this coming from? Like, I was so
Well,
mad,
it's
dude.
like I have teenagers. I don't need another, right?
Dude, go ahead. I'm wireless. Not funny. Like, I was not in the mood.
Yeah, I
Marissa's
wonder
like,
if you
knock,
can
knock. Marissa's like,
change
you got to
that kind of
grow up.
personality. I wonder if you
I
can
don't
change
know.
that.
In fact, it's not even. I used to say, Alexa, tell everybody in dinner time, and it would be my voice coming across. Now it's some random guy. He's all, hey, everybody, dinner's ready. And I'm like, who's that guy? Like, is that Alex? Alexa?
Uh,
Who is that?
Yeah, they did change because we actually had to change ours from Alexa. We changed it to gosh, well, we changed. I can't remember what the
To
other name is, but
to
we changed it
Darren or something?
again
Yeah. Yeah.
to Ziggy
Ziggy.
because I have my niece
Hmm.
Alexa, and so we could not
That's
we,
right. I
we
never
could
thought
not
about
have a
that.
conversation in the house about her at all without it triggering the Alexa. And so
Mhm.
we had to change it to Ziggy, and I changed yeah, I think I changed it to the same voice that you were talking about
Do you
because I
have
got
an
sick of it.
Alexa at your house right now? Like, do you use it?
Yeah, we have one actually, well, I don't know. Is it just one or is it like one like
We have
are they different in each room? I don't
we
know.
have we have multiple, and I'm like, I got thinking like, do we like this? Is this a thing? Because yeah, she pissed me off, and I'm like, I can't be having the robot. But I thought if I had a robot, would I be as short with it as I am with this little hockey puck? And I'm like,
No, because it could outrun you.
I know, and that's what I'm thinking, man. Because I watched a show called The Black Mirror. You ever seen Black Mirror
Oh,
on Netflix? It's
yeah,
like, yeah,
no.
and there's an episode where the guy
I
pisses off
binge
the house.
watched I binge watched
Hmm.
that during the pandemic, and let me just say
Yeah.
it did not help my worldview at all.
No, I did not know that's what it's going to be about. But that one where they're kind of locked in the
Uh-huh.
house because they're being snotty to their Alexa or whatever it is, I'm like, ooh, yeah. I always think about that when I'm back talking to her. But
Well,
go
there
ahead, I'm wireless. That's
I
uncalled
wanna
for.
I wanna say and I know somebody is going to call me out on this. They're probably yelling it, probably even right now. But there was a made for TV movie on the Disney Channel that was essentially kind of that same premise where it was like a mom, but it was the house and it kept the kids in the house because
Hmm.
this or that or whatever. I know I'm totally butchering, the whole plot line, but that was the premise of it.
Yeah.
But of course, the Black Mirror takes things up a notch or two more than the Disney Channel
But
ever
yeah.
will.
Hmm.
So I can only imagine how much creepier it would be. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't think I would talk back. Like if it was a physical robot, like, like Rosie on the
Yeah.
Jetsons. I mean,
Hmm.
Rosie could probably throw down. I'm not gonna
Well, let me
lie.
tell you, Rosie's got some 1940s style, like stainless steel, like throughout
Mhm.
her
Yeah, she's not
body.
she's
So
not playing.
no.
Yeah.
In
Ooh.
fact, did you ever hear about the funny thing about the Jetsons? I think like George Jetson should, if reality is, right now, he should have already been born in our timeline right now. So we're not too far away from flying cars and from, Rosie the robots. But I did notice that they said that the Jetsons' theory is that it came after a nuclear holocaust. And that's why they're always up in the air above all the radiation. And I thought, no one's ever said that before. That's
Oh,
terrifying. Yeah. You ever heard the dark side of some of these cartoons? Like, I'm like, again, rabbit holes you get to go down.
I know. I'm
Kind
like,
of some
don't
crazy things.
like stop trying to connect dots that are not meant to be
I
connected because
know, but
that's
they all
when
make
things get really
sense.
dark. I know they make
Absolutely.
sense, but they
Hmm.
were just being cute because it was the space age.
That's what I thought too, man. But no, and that's yeah, it's famine and disease and pestilence down below. So that's why they're all above them, up in the clouds, up in the radio, and they think that they're in a big dome too, like because you never get to see them fly out into space or anything. But hey, from the Flintstones to the Jetsons, yeah, I don't think I want a
Yeah.
robot like
Did
as
you
a butler.
did you ever watch the Flintstones meet the Jetsons?
Is that a thing? I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was a made for TV movie, but yeah, because that was a big thing as well, right? Back then in the 60s
Yeah,
and
the
so
crossovers.
forth, like
Yeah.
the crossovers, because there
Hmm.
was like even in the 70s, there was the Harlem Globetrotters and Scooby Doo. Do you remember
I
that?
loved it. I loved it when like the Three Stooges would pop up into Scooby Doo and the Harlem
Mhm.
Globetrotters. Yeah, man, that was a ticket. I liked that a lot. Hmm.
Yeah. No, I now kind of going back to last week's episode makes you kind of wonder: were there any crossovers with He-Man? I can't.
Well,
I
She-Ra came. Yeah,
well,
yeah, she
yeah.
came.
I mean,
Obviously,
but that's more so in the like a
in the
direct kind of like
comics,
in the
in,
universe of that.
in the comics, Superman somehow found his way to Eternia, and they had a fight. And I think that Superman kicked his trash, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like I would love if there was like just all eight, like 1980s Saturday morning cartoons, just cross over each one of them, right? Like He-Man and the Muppet Babies, man. Could you
Mm-hmm.
imagine? I mean, just like He-Man and Animal, battling, either battling it out or teaming up.
Beastman and Animal. Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Futurama, I've been on The Simpsons before. I know The Simpsons have been in Family Guy. I've never watched it, but like I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
But there
don't
was
get me
something
started.
cool about seeing the Harlem Globetrotters and like the Three Stooges, like on
Well, it
Scooby
was
Doo.
great
Like that
market
was.
it was
Hmm.
great marketing, especially with the Harlem Globetrotters and just, making it more exciting for kids.
Yeah, it's like you go here. Yeah, absolutely. You know, what I did hear though. Brace yourself, '80s kid.
Mhm,
They are re-releasing the Transformers cartoon movie, the one that Optimus Prime dies at the end and scarred all of us kids.
mhm.
They're going to attach another 10 to 15 minutes showing that he's not really dead. They're finally correcting their wrong. Have you heard about this? It's a
No.
re-release. Yes. It's only taken 30 years for them to address the trauma they put us through. Can you believe
I
it?
I I was not traumatized by that, but I know you were, so I'm happy for you there.
Dude, who the flip kills off the best like super like hero known to man? Like we all loved him. He wasn't even out for very long, and they killed him. Like what the heck?
And he didn't come back, is that correct?
No, he came out. He came back as a different prime or something, and I'm like, and here we are waiting year after year for part two, and it just never came out, and that was just the end of it. I'm like, dude, and that it kind of killed the line too. Like, what
Yeah,
are you
true.
doing? They're like, oops, maybe dude,
Did
some of
you
the stuff they put us through as kids, let's be honest, man. Jeez. After school specials, all that stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm still, and I talk about this quite a bit, the whole like Punky Brewster when
Mhm.
her friend Sherry gets stuck in the fridge, the abandoned fridge, right?
Absolutely, man. You know,
No.
the after school specials were the greatest. Do you remember some of those? Those like real cheesy, formulaic kind of like, again, like PSAs about. I remember the girl, I was watching one where a girl was taking drugs in high school. And the very end, she was up on top of her high school and she took the leap of faith and obviously died. I'm thinking, we're watching this. And if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, I think it was, no, it wasn't her. I think Helen Hunt was in one, but she had an eating disorder or something. Dude, yeah, so many of these shows that like
Well, did you watch
kick knowledge
did you
to
watch
us.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah. Hmm.
Like when Jesse gets addicted to the
Caffeine
caffeine
pills.
pills. Like,
Yeah, man.
first off, there's a whole story behind that because obviously with the FAA, or is it FFA? I can never remember.
Sure.
Future Farmers, or I see. I don't know. Somebody's yelling at me right now. I can hear it.
Yes.
But it was because of them, the FCC. That sounds right.
Hmm.
I know it wasn't the UFE, but anyway, so it was supposed to be crack, right? Because that at the time that was the big, scary drug, which I mean it is scary, but they obviously could not use that in a show like that. So
Hmm.
they had to change it to caffeine pills. And I find it funny because it was such a moment that every kid who watched that show remembers, right? And
Right.
they're scarred by that. But now it's like all those kids who grew up being scared of those caffeine pills, they were probably like 50 milligrams of caffeine, right?
Man, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
what are those kids doing now? They're watching the reruns,
It's like an
drinking
energy
their
drink.
drinking their energy
Hmm.
drinks, their 200 or their 300 milligram energy drinks. So basically, if you want to scare yourself to back off on the caffeine, just imagine
Yeah.
yourself just drinking like a whole like pill bottle of caffeine pills that Jesse, was taking when you're
Was
sipping
taken.
on
She
your
like, yeah,
energy drinks.
she was taking. I think she was taking a lot of those, if I not remember. She was like all like, yeah, heart palpitations and stuff.
Mm,
But yeah, man, those were crazy. Like those after school specials. Like there was eating disorders, there was addiction,
mhm.
there was abuse. Again, because our parents, I guess, more often than not, weren't teaching us these things. We need to learn this stuff from TV. I'm kind of like the cable guy with Jim Carrey. That's how kind of I grew up in front of a TV. So I know a lot of these things, man. And
Hmm.
so maybe that's why I consider myself a decent man, is because I've watched so many of these and took so many
Yeah.
PSAs to heart, right? Like,
Well, and kind of just to bring this in a little bit, one of the reasons why there were, and I haven't done a huge deep dive yet, but one of our listeners, Russ, had mentioned that there was one of the reasons why there were so many of these, these messages and everything in that is that it needed like equal air time, like educational time. And so that's why you got a lot of these, after school messages and everything. So
oh my
which makes
gosh.
sense because it seems like everything had it. But nowadays, I don't yeah, I don't think I can think of one. SpongeBob definitely isn't, giving us any life advice,
Josh, I
which
just found a
maybe
list.
we do. Like maybe SpongeBob, maybe we would have a better society if SpongeBob was giving us some life advice, right?
Okay, you ready? I found
Mhm.
after school ABC after school specials. Okay, the first one premiered October 4th, 1972. So this is a few years before I was born.
Mhm.
Season 1, Episode 1, The Last of the Curlews, the last male Eskimo curlew in his search for a mate, and the problems they face while making the treacherous migration from the high Arctic tundra of Argentina back to the nesting grounds. So Eskimo curlew, I thought that was, it's a bird apparently, not a human. And so that was a first after school special. But I read this one, okay? Season 1, Episode 6, the story of a retired clown and his underlying love for children. I do not want to see season 1, episode 6, Alexander. Are you kidding me?
Mhm. Mm,
Like, that could bring no happiness,
mm-mm.
Rookie of the Year, season 2, episode 1, an 11-year-old girl encounters opposition when she joins her brother's little league team, which happens to be all boys. So yeah, that's going to throw a monkey wrench in the system, right? 1973.
Mhm. Mhm.
We've got Runaways. This is season 2, episode 5. A small town teenage girl joins forces with a younger streetwise boy. The story about their struggles for survival in an often frightening big city. 1974. This probably has no grip on reality. Like, can you imagine? Like, a teenage girl joins forces with a younger streetwise boy. Is that not Aladdin? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Maybe that's
there's
where Disney got
dozens
the
of them.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no. I mean, there is the whole.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So there's about 7 episodes per season back then, it looks like. I'm
Well,
trying to
and then
find the one.
all the PSAs from all the Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm.
Like even Disney got in on all of that because I remember a few. Well, I'm assuming that you didn't have the Disney Channel when you were a
No, that
kid.
was much too rich for our
Yeah,
blood, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because I will say we were a day one the Disney Channel family.
I'm gonna have to watch these.
And they have a Welcome to Pooh Corner, and it gets pretty like personal, talking about like touch and things like that. And I remember as a kid watching that, and like, I was maybe less than 10 years old, and I just remember thinking like, this is a weird topic to talk about, but
Gosh, man.
somebody's
Okay,
gotta.
season 7, episode 6. This is March 5th, 1979. A teenage girl is involved in a hit and run, and the guilt starts to take a toll on her everyday life. I've seen this one, and it's freaking horrific. I have seen this one. It's called A Terrible Secret. My gosh, dude. That would be
Gosh.
a terrible secret, right? Like, you're with your boyfriend, he runs over a kid, and you have this guilt. You can't tell anybody about it. Like, man, that would be horrible, right? Man,
Yeah, they hold nothing back.
they hold nothing back. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Season 9, episode 4. This is November 12th, 1980. It's called Stoned. Okay. Jack is is a motivated high school student who smokes cannabis for the first time and falls in with a fast crowd. A fast crowd. Will he wake up and realize what he's doing with his future before it's too late? And it's
I
Scott
feel like
Baio.
if
Scott Baio is Jack. I've seen this one too. Yeah, I know you've seen this one.
no, I have, but
Uh-huh.
you kind of have to laugh that it would be a fast crowd because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
no.
sure cannabis
Mhm.
has an opposite effect.
Yep, yep. Boy, here's one right after that one. Run, Don't Walk, season 9, episode 6. A teenage girl is denied about having her wheelchair in a public place after an accident has left her paralyzed. She begins to change when a boy. Her situation begins to change when a boy comes into her world in the same with the same situation. So I guess these two start to date because they both have wheelchairs. So
Kind of
yeah,
cute. It's like
that's a good one.
the Titanic from
Absolutely,
wheelchairs.
but there's doesn't I think I'm gonna have to watch some of these. I will skip Alexander because I don't want to see a clown that loves children. That sounds absolutely horrific.
No, I mean that's what's his name? The mass murderer. I can't think
Yeah,
of his
man,
name.
dude.
I
Yeah,
I I
that
know who.
guy.
Yeah, that guy. Because it was around that time. It was 1972, right? I think it was right before he
Yeah.
got caught
Oh my gosh, Jodie Foster's in that one.
in the clown one.
Yeah, the guy who plays the clown. I kid you not. I just looked it up. His name is Red Buttons. It's Alexander. Red Buttons.
No. Oh yeah, John Wayne Gacy is who I'm
That's
thinking of,
yeah.
and he murdered 33 boys and young men between 1972 and 1978.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So essentially, that was in 1972. Maybe he could have gotten the idea from the after school special.
Oh my
I wonder if
gosh.
there's a connection. I'm just putting it out there.
I want to know where you can watch these because there's some bangers in
Dude,
here.
I'm gonna look that up for you right now because
Jodie Foster was one of the kids in this horrific clown movie. Like, yeah, she's forget how much she's acted in, like tons of stuff.
let's see. It looks like
Are you looking it up? Alexander, the clown,
yeah. I
1972,
think you can actually watch it on YouTube.
IMDb
I
on
think you can
YouTube.
find some.
Are you
Yeah,
serious,
yeah. It looks
man?
like there's some that
If
are
if
on.
that's the case, I will start doing a little 5-minute review for us each time. But I don't know, man. I might have to have you watch this one because me and clowns do not get along.
I don't necessarily want to watch it either, but you
Who
know,
out there in listener land will watch episode 5? What is one is it? Season
hmm
1, episode 5, Alexander.
KP, I nominate you.
Yeah, yeah. His love for children. What kind of message is that supposed to teach, right? Don't trust a clown. But no, this is where my algorithm takes me, Josh. And all you listeners, you just went down an ADHD trip with Josh and I. That's what
Oh yeah,
happens.
yeah.
And then we know like the directors and the actions of like tons of stuff about
Are you the
nothing.
type of person who, if you have time to like watch a movie or whatever, like with Marissa, do you
Hmm.
sit there and like Google the actors? Like I get sucked into looking at all the actors. I'm fascinated by knowing how old they are when
Right.
they filmed the movie, especially when we watch, like old musicals, like,
Yeah.
The King and I, Mary Poppins, whatever,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
I love, like, he's like 42. He's younger than I am, but he looks like he's 60, right?
Yeah, I don't. Marissa does. I don't like that because I've got to pay attention or else it's game
See,
over for me. Yeah, I
and that's how
can't
I pay
be
attention.
distracted. Really?
That's how I pay attention, because
Hmm.
otherwise it's torture for me. And then that's when I'm off, daydreaming, about whatever, right?
Yeah,
And then I
I love the card that's always like, "Oh, who's that? We've seen her in a million movies. Who is that?" I'm like, "I don't know." Do you know what else that I suck at? I cannot remember people's names in movies. Marissa's like, "What? No, what's her name again?" I'm like, "I have no idea." Like she said, "Blue, they say it every 5 minutes." I'm like, I don't know." Like I cannot place names. Like, oh, that's Alice for Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. I cannot keep character names. I just know that's the person who's obviously the main
Mhm.
character. That person's supporting.
Hmm.
Do you remember names? I can't remember names like at all.
No, I don't even know if I think about it, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Like,
For some
I
reason,
kind
Marissa wants to
of
know what their name is, as if that's going to like somehow make the plot better. I'm like, I
yeah,
don't know.
I don't think I pay attention to it other than, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have
Mhm.
to let Marianne know. Like, I want her
Mhm.
to quiz me now.
Yeah. I prepare to
because
fail. Yeah, I suck at it.
yeah. Actually, no, I don't. I don't because a lot of the older movie, especially like the older movies that we watch,
Mhm.
I'm not remembering names. I'm not remembering like even Star Wars, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Granted, they have a little bit more unusual names, but
Well,
I
we were
just know that.
watching what were we watching? We were watching The Pit. It's about a hospital. It's like an ER, like hospital show, like in Pennsylvania. No, in Pittsburgh. It's on
Mhm.
HBO. And Marissa's always asking, "Okay, what's that doctor's name?" Like, I don't know. That's the one with autism. Well, what's that one's name? I don't know. That's the one that has like a checkered background. I have no idea what their names are, but she's hell bent on making sure that she knows who they are. I can't do that. I even find myself losing that in books that I'm listening to. I'm like, oh, I guess that's who they're talking to, who they're talking about. I cannot keep it straight.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to
Basically,
figure that
blind.
because I don't think I do either.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Like, don't quiz me on. That's why I probably suck at like movie trivia. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah. No, what's funny is there's times when I'm like, we were watching a show. No kidding. So like we were watching Scrubs.
hmm
You ever watch Scrubs? There's
yeah,
an episode of Scrubs where the soup Nazi from Seinfeld's in there, and when he popped on, I'm like, hey, look, that's the soup Nazi. And Marissa's like, no way. I'm like, no, it really is because it was like years later. And so she Googled IMDb. She's like, oh my gosh, it is. Then I was watching some show called The White Orchid or something. It's on HBO. And Uncle Rico's on there, but he's wicked old. And I'm like, that's Uncle Rico. And he's like bald and like skinny. And she's like, no, it's not. Sure enough, Uncle Rico. Yeah,
no, I'm
I
kind
can
of
do
that
that
same
pretty
way.
good, but
No,
I
I'm kind
don't
of
know
that
their
same
names.
way as well, right? Like
Hmm.
that I get from my dad because my dad has that ability to connect an older face
Yeah,
to people that that he remembers.
right.
And I do too. Like I will go somewhere and I'll recognize somebody and I'm like, yeah, that person was in my 5th grade class. He sat like 2 rows, behind me or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, oh
And I
yeah.
remember that, but, don't ask me anything else about them.
Yeah, I don't think that's a sign of pre-dementia in our. I think it's just like it doesn't occupy space. Like there's so many other
No,
things
no,
bouncing around up there.
if it was important to me or if I deemed it important at the time of when I had them in my life or whatever, then
Hmm.
yes, like I would remember that, right? So,
Yeah, well, then I remember when I first met you. I'm like, is his name Josh? Is it Joshua? Is it Joshua Snow? Is it Joshua Snow Hansen? Like, who is this man? Like, yeah, like took me
I'm still
forever to
trying to
figure
figure that out. So,
out who you are. Who are you, sir? Yeah,
I know
no.
I get well, yeah. I get Josh, I get Jason a lot. A lot of people think I look
You have
like a Jason.
105 like social media, Facebook and Instagram like people
Yeah.
too. So I'm like, it's funny. I go to send you a reel or something. I'm like, wait a minute, which one is it? Is it
Well,
the cartoon? Is it which one is this? So I send it to
yeah,
one of them. Hope he clicks.
because I have like my public Instagram. It's mainly my Instagram. Well, actually, no, it's Facebook as well because I have technically 3 Facebook accounts, not as many as my friend Dave Stewart.
How many does he have?
He has like 7. If
Wow.
whenever he forgets the
Dang.
password, he'll just open a new
Make a
one.
new one. Yeah,
So I never know,
I
like
like
if
that.
I'm with him or if I'm wishing him a happy birthday on Facebook, I will just tag like all 7 of his accounts because it's
Dude.
just easier that way. But no, like
Hmm.
I have the Greg Gregerson account, which is basically everything before
I like that.
2014. And I just haven't deleted it because I have a lot of pictures that I just want to keep.
Yeah.
And then I did start a Joshua Hansen, which is kind of sat there. It was meant to be more of a public one.
Hmm.
When especially when I was job hunting, but I just haven't deleted that one and it's
Yeah,
just
that
there.
makes
But
sense.
yeah, Instagram, it was compartmentalizing.
Hmm.
I have a running account and then I used to do a year of pictures and then I would start a new one. So I have a whole bunch of random like albums. My brain.
It's the way it goes, man.
I
It's the
don't
way it
have
works. Yeah.
I don't have any other explanation than I just like to compartmentalize podcasts. I have one for memes. I have the running one. I have probably ones that I've forgotten about.
Man, I can't keep mine straight, like, let alone that, like, yeah.
And the funny thing is I haven't outside of my running Instagram and then, ours for the show,
Hmm.
I haven't posted at all this year. as far as like a post goes. I'll do stories occasionally, but I haven't posted a
I'm with
thing.
you.
Just I don't know. I'm getting disenchanted, I guess.
No one,
But
no one likes us anyway. I mean, we've only got
no,
a few people
well,
listening here, so.
and and if I'm being honest, like I think the more, and I don't know if this is just maturity, like this is me, becoming a 45-year-old man, or if this is just the evolution of social media and everything. But it's
Hmm.
just like, you know what? Like nobody really cares what I have to pontificate about on social media. Nobody cares what I believe politically, which
Hmm.
isn't much.
Hmm.
And nobody wants to read that because more often than not, like I mute a lot of people when I do
Dude,
go on
me
social
too.
media because I'm
Me
just like,
too.
no, and I don't even
Don't
care.
even.
Like I don't even care
Mhm.
what it is, right? Like if I feel like you're getting on your high horse on this side of the aisle or the other side of the aisle,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't
Hmm.
want that. I come to social media to watch cat videos and people eating random things in the Philippines, Like,
And obviously to like celebrate Jimothy.